Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Hello and welcome to the Valley Oak Paper YouTube channel. My name is Cecilia and this is the card I'm going to make today. This is the proof of concept card I created a few days ago. I used the Spellbinder's Glimmer Hot Foil Plate of the Month for December 2023. It's called My Heart Smiles. It includes this lovely floral corner that's just begging to be watercolored. There are 4 sentiments all in all. We'll use You Make My Heart Smile in today's card. In my proof of concept card, I used this very pretty satin pastel peach hot foil. But in today's card, I'm using my latest obsession. It's called Pewter and it's a bit darker. It has lots of shine in kind of a gunmetal range of hues. I'm going to foil the card front in 4 passes. 2 for the floral corners, 1 for the main sentiment, and 1 for the sub-sentiment that I'm adding to the inside of the card. To make it easier to cut the foil, I created some templates out of cardstock. The templates make it easy to hold down the foil without marring it. They live in the storage pocket together with the plates. I'm cutting the foil with a small rotary trimmer on top of a little self-healing mat. You don't need to press hard. This card panel is cut out of a Hammermill premium color copy cover 100 pounds. It's what everybody recommends for foiling. It's not a great watercolor paper, but I can make it work by only adding 2 washes of color. I'm using the hinge method to keep the plate and foil in place. Here's the result. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I got a lot of overfoiling, and what a bummer. I need to figure out why and how I can fix it. Okay, so I figured out why it overfoiled. This was the first foiling I did for the day and I hadn't turned on the Glimmer machine before. So I thought if I put the plates on the machine it will heat up quicker. And that worked, but apparently it worked too well. So now I know not to put my plates on the machine while it heats up. Live and learn. But fear not, because I am going to use my trusty sand eraser and get rid of most of the overfoiling. I'll also put a drop shadow under the floral to disguise what I can't erase. So this is the result I get when I don't leave the plates on the heating pad. That's much better. There's just a few traces of overfoiling. That's no match for the sand eraser. For the sentiment, I have to use mint tape. I found that if I use washi tape, it can pull up the previous foiling. Mint tape is much better that way. Again, minimal overfoiling. I hope that with practice I can avoid even these little mishaps. Isn't that pretty? Now I can watercolor. I'm using my Distress watercolor pencils for this image. I keep them in the original packaging and I've created little swatch charts for each tin. For the foliage, I'm mainly using Twisted Citron, Peeled Paint and Rustic Wilderness. There's a lot of fine detail here, so I'm using a number 1 brush. I'm putting clean water in a little triangle tray and I have a microfiber cloth nearby to blot up excess water. I'll put on some music while I paint. That's the first layer of green on the leaves. Now I'll do the first layer of color on the flowers. The flowers on the original card were in candied apple and picked raspberry, but I ended up going with only candied apple for the large flowers in this card. I put down color in the center of the flowers and along the veins. For the second green layer, I've sharpened the rustic wilderness and twisted citron pencils, and I'm going to mix them with some water. This makes it much easier to get a smooth gradient than if I went in directly with a pencil. For the flower centers, I used fossilized amber, and I shaded the peeled paint foliage with peacock feathers. it's the smaller flower's turn. I'm putting down Salty Ocean in the middle of the petals. That's all the watercoloring for the motif. It's pretty, but you can clearly see some of the overfoiling. So now I'm going to add a drop shadow to hide that. I'll start with faded jeans, and then I'll deepen the color with prize ribbon and a smidge of black soot. There, that looks a lot better. I need to trim down the card panel so the motif is centered on it. Then I'll straighten it by gluing a sturdier piece of accent opaque to the back and putting it under something heavy for a few hours. Then all that remains is to adhere to the card base. I did add some silver and black iridescent pearls to the flower centers too. You can find links to everything I used on today's card in the description box below, as well as in my blog post on valleyoakpaper.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that finishes the card for today. I hope you enjoyed it, even if it was a bit of a journey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.